What's up, Bulls Nation? My name's Jordan, and this is just another year, Chicago Bulls. Today, I've got a mock trade idea, and I'm going to explain why it works for both teams and my thoughts on the full trade. But before we get into that, here's a word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, I've always been one to support mental health, whether it be in sports, making content, or just everyday life. Everyone goes through some tough things in their lives, and sometimes we put a little extra pressure on ourselves, even though it's not needed, and nobody has everything figured out. So, one thing I've learned is growth is not always all or nothing. Sometimes taking one small step is enough. This is why I thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. BetterHelp makes starting therapy easy. You take a quiz, you get matched with a licensed therapist pretty quick, and you can communicate however you feel comfortable, whether it be over the phone, whether it be a text, a video call. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Over 6 million people have gotten help through BetterHelp. So visit betterhelp.com/JCB, or you can click the link in the description box to get 10% off your first month. Therapy can be one of those spaces that help you reset, reflect, and keep things moving forward. Again, visit betterhelp.com/JCB or click the link in the description box to get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, we'll equal a better you. Let's go. Let's get it. BetterHelp. Let's get back into the video. And if you're excited for this regular season, this preseason, go ahead and drop a like on that. And if you're excited for this season, go ahead and drop a like on the video. So the trade idea: Max Strus and a second round pick, and we send off Jalen Smith to the Cavs. I could see this being a potential trade that could happen. Brings in another shooter for this Bulls team that doesn't necessarily look like they have the shooting necessary to stay competitive. Now, granted, I think guys are going to shoot a lot better than what they're being led on to, but bring in a hometown hero and get a second for Jalen Smith that we could probably do without, get him on a contender. Now, a little bit about Max Strus. He's 30. He's played 7 years in the NBA. He's a guard forward. I would say run him at the 2 on the Bulls for sure. 6'5", weighs 215. His stats for the 25-26 season, he played 24 minutes per game, shot 44.3% from the field, averaged 11.2 points, 2 assists, 5.4 rebounds, didn't have any blocks, 0.3 steals. Now, some of the strengths that Max Strus would provide: he would be an elite floor spacer and provide a lot of elite shooting. He never stays still. He's always moving with or without the ball. The intangibles that he has, the size, the height for that 2 guard, great things to have. And he hustles and runs like it's nobody's business. He plays extremely physical defense, whether it be against someone his size or someone that he's mismatched on or someone that's just bigger than him. And he also provides good secondary playmaking. He's smart enough to drop the ball off to someone else if he doesn't have the shot, and just the being in that space makes it easier for other guys to get to their spots and score and not have to worry about a double coming. Now his weaknesses, even though he does move a lot, he's not one of the quicker guards, not one of the quickest guys in the NBA. Another weakness is he can be a streaky shooter at some time. So he has his hot games, he has his cold games. He's not really – he's consistent, but he still has some of those nights where he can take 6 or 7 shots and only make one. So if he's not hitting them, then it's kind of lackluster. He has limited self-creation. He's not out there balling his hands, making plays for himself, he's the real creation that he has for himself is his movement and just never staying still. And that's about the most that you get from him creating. Now, size limitations. Yes, he is good size-wise for that 2 guard, but he is still also smaller. Now, with that size limitation that he does have, makes him prone to fouls because he is an extremely aggressive defender. If he's on a bigger guy, even though he's being aggressive and a decent defender, he's still liable to be called for those ticky-tack, picky fouls. Now, do I think that is a reason to not go for him? No. Now, in a trade for Max Strus, and I would say I would want a second round pick out of getting Max Strus as well. Looking at the teams, both teams' rosters, and what the money looks like, it's unfortunately Jalen Smith makes the most sense to be given up for a Strus trade. Now, I love Sticks. Would I like to see him stay around? Of course. But we also have Claxton, Collins. I think Sticks is a better 4, even though he probably wouldn't be playing 4 on this team with us having Caleb and Miller and Noah. I don't know where or how much minutes Sticks gets fit into. And with the Cavs, they're pretty guard heavy. They don't really have another big to back up Evan Mobley. And to me, I think that they'll be looking for someone to bring in to do that has solidified themselves instead of being a younger, which I mean Sticks is still young, but someone who hasn't had their name and is developed as a backup 4. And I think Sticks would run perfectly fine beside Jared Allen if you wanted to play some Allen Sticks minutes. To me, I think Sticks would be a great pickup for the Cavs, and I think that they're not. I think that they would be willing to give up Strus, and I think personally it would work for both teams. And then potentially getting Strus could make the option of, hey, we can trade Powell at the deadline, see what we can get back for Powell, and have Strus take over that 2-guard off-ball scorer type of role that we signed Powell for. But it opens up a lot of options and even gives Splitter another 2-guard option off the bench. So to me. I wouldn't be mad at this deal, and even though Bryson got rid of our seconds for this season, he might want a second for a future season to either package in a deal or potentially use to pick someone. But that being said, is that a trade that you would make? Is there a different trade that you would like to see? Do you even want Strus to come back and be a Bull? Go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the trade and if this is something that you would do. While you're down there, go ahead and hit that sub button. We are almost at 1900. We're only 10 away now. So we would really appreciate the support and the sub. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for coming out, spending the time, and hope you enjoyed. Peace.